Hello, my student of 11th class CBSE board. I'm again welcome you all to my channel Priyasha's English Hub. So today I'm going to start another chapter from Hornbill, that is Landscape of the Soul. That is an interesting one, little bit confusing for the students, but I have tried to make this confusion clear. Let's start. Landscape of the Soul, Nathaniel Trower, written by, and let's continue. Let's start with the introduction. Written by Nathaniel Trower, the chapter is about how different the Chinese art form is from the European art. What is the basic difference in the art form of China and the art form of Europe? The writer uses two stories to make a contrast. He to make you people understand about the importance of art and the essence of art, the writer has used the famous two stories. European art. What is European art? European art is about reproducing an actual view, whereas Chinese art is about not creating a real landscape. European art is an artist's way to let viewers show exactly what he wants them to see. Clear? European art is something where the artist way to let artists decide what should be presented and what should be the point of view of the viewer about watching that particular image or the painting. Chinese art is the artist's spiritual and inner voice, where you can travel from any point and it lets the viewer create a path for their imagination. Theme. In this story, Landscape of the Soul, I hope you understand the meaning of the word landscape, the scenery. So, in this story, Landscape of the Soul, the author presents two examples of paintings to show the beauty and difference in the perception of painters. To show the beauty and difference in what? Difference in the perception, in the concept of the painters. As the story proceeds, it conveys that the emperor may rule within the kingdom. The emperor can be the ruler of that particular kingdom, but the artist is the only one who knows his painting within. He cannot rule the soul of an artist. Okay? Summary. Let's start the summary. Summary of the lesson will help you learn about this chapter in a very simple and easy manner. This chapter comprises of two parts, and Nathal, the author, is the author. The author has taken the first part from the landscape of the soul, ethics and spirituality in Chinese painting. So in the first part he is discussing about the spirituality in Chinese painting, whereas the second part has been derived from getting inside outsider art. Getting Inside is an article that was published in the Hindustan Times in 2005. It is written by Brenda Suri. The main theme of the chapter is about arts. It revolves around the art of painting told through the help of various stories. We learn about Chinese painters and their works as well as the story behind them. Similarly, the second part explores the concept of art brute, meaning the art of the ones who have no right. Thus, we learn a great deal about art and its history. This chapter divides into two parts, each telling us about art and its history through various stories. In the part taken from Landscape of the Soul, Ethics and Spirituality in Chinese Painting, we learn about the art of painting through two stories. So in the first part we have to understand the Chinese painting with the help of two different stories. Let it be very clear. In the first part, there are two stories about Chinese art. The first one is about a very popular Chinese painter. You can search him on Google, Wu Daozi. The first one is about a very famous painter, Chinese, Wu Daozi. It is about the 8th century when he was hired by the Tang Emperor Zhuzong to adorn a wall of the palace. So, what is that? There was a painter named Wu Daozi, and at that time, the ruler Zhuzong hired him to decorate a wall of his palace. So the famous painter was called by the king that you have to decorate my this wall, the wall of my palace. This is the particular wall which you have to decorate, because I have heard so many stories about you, about your painting. So it is your task. Okay. Who was being called? The painter, the famous painter Wu Daozi. And who summons him? The emperor of China at that time, Tang Emperor, and whose name was Zhuzong. And what was the task? That the painter was asked to decorate a wall of the palace. Wu painted beautiful scenery with mountains. It's very interesting story. Okay, listen carefully. Wu means Wu Daozi, the painter, had started making the painting. He painted beautiful scenery with mountains, waterfalls, forest, as well as clouds and blue skies, with people living harmoniously in a happy environment. However, so these were the things which he had painted in his scenery. However, he painted a cave. Along with that, he also painted a cave at the foot of a mountain. So he had drawn the picture of the mountains, and at the foot side of the mountain, he had drawn a picture of a cave that was inhabited by a spirit. And he told to the emperor that in this cave lives a spirit. When the painter was showing his work to the emperor, when he was finished with his painting, he called the emperor to see his painting. He claps his hand, and an entrance to the cave opens, where he gets in and vanishes. So, what? Did you understand? When the painter clapped his hands, the entrance of the cave which he has drawn in the painting opens up. He gets into it, means the painter gets inside the cave and vanishes. He vanishes from the painting. Okay. Now what happened? Thus, after disappearing, the author says that denotes the knowledge of the mystical inner world. Thus, it says that the masters are aware of the way within and can go yonder any material form. Similarly, there is another story about another popular Chinese painter who did not draw a dragon's eye, fearing it would become real and fly out of his painting. So, in the first story, what did you understand? Nothing, I guess. When the painter just clapped his hand and the entrance of the cave opens up, he just move inside and vanishes, means he could appreciate the hidden meaning and the essence of his poetry. This is Chinese art, that only the painter can understand what is the basic theme behind that painting. No one else can understand it in a better way. Okay, you can understand with the help of another story is that similarly there is another story about another popular Chinese painter who did not draw a dragon's eye. Once a Chinese painter was there who had drawn a beautiful dragon in his art gallery, but he was not drawing his eyes. Why so? He was afraid that the dragon looks so lively that if he had drawn the eye in that picture, the dragon would fly away from the painting. Can it be happen anyhow? No. Means he was so beautiful in his art that he could give a real sense or real feel to the image. Next, we have the third one about a master blacksmith. Another story is here. about a master blacksmith, Quentin Masters, who falls in love with the daughter of a painter. There was a blacksmith, Quentin Masters, and who was in love with the daughter of a painter. As the father was not accepting of his son in law belonging to such a profession, but the father in law was not ready to, means the painter was not ready to let his daughter get married with such a low caste person. He accepted Quentin because he still did so, means still the blacksmith kept on loving the daughter, and he was ready to do anything. Finally, he accepted Quentin because he painted a fly on his board. Means what? Means that one day the blacksmith visited the art house or the art gallery of the painter to impress his would be father in law, and he saw that uh, there was a painting done by the painter, but it was not completed. So he was able to impress his father-in-law by painting a fly on his board. He had painted a fly. It had such gentle realism that it resembled a real one. The fly, the beauty of the fly was that fly, you understand, of fly, a house fly which you can see in house, in your houses. So he had simply drawn an image of a fly, and when the painter came inside, he tried to flew it away, to make it flew from the painting, because he was thinking that a real fly was sitting on the board, on the painting board. Further, the author also talks about Chinese philosophy, Sehen Sui, meaning mountain water. I know it is a typical one, but you have to listen the video, you have to watch the video twice at least to get it clear. Finally, in the second part of Getting Inside, in the second part of the chapter, you would find these two words, Getting Inside and Outsider Art, by Brinda Suri, who talks about the concept of art brute. Brinda Suri has written it, and she is talking about art brute. Art brute translates to the art of the ones who have no right to be artists. Means art brute says that a painter should not have any degree to make his art famous. Anyone can draw the pictures if he is having that aesthetic sense. It is because they lack any formal training yet somehow possesses artistic talent and insight. Means the person who is not a holder of or the owner of any formal degree, it doesn't mean that he's not having that sense or creativity or innovative ideas. He or she must be having. And art brute says that any person who's having the talent without the degree can also draw, can also show or exhibit his talent. She refers to them as the ones who think outside the box and defy the normal standards. Means these are the people who can think beyond the boundaries, who can think out of the boxes, and they can overrule the normal standards and the rules and regulations. People refer to their work as unorthodox art. She cites the example of Nek Chand's work at Rock Garden in Chandigarh is a form of art brute. She has taken an example from Chandigarh, where a person who was not having any degree has created a masterpiece by creating Rock Garden in Chandigarh, where he has used all the waste materials, and that garden is really very beautiful. Conclusion of the landscape of the soul. To sum up the landscape to soul summary, we learned that art is an infinite form which has a rich history, and it cannot fit inside any certain box or label. It has a life of its own. Thanks. Have a nice day. Have a wonderful day. Let me know if there is any doubt. Thank you, students. Take care.